And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to your favorite weekly sports show. That's right, it is ITC Sportsball. And of course, I am your man, Jerome Sprain, the prettiest man on ITC, baby.
Also the
you know
oldest.
what it is. Hey, oldest but the prettiest. I'm aging like fine wine, baby. That's what I'm talking about. But yes, of course, we are back again this week with the whole crew. We have got that hot take spitter, the one who rips like Darline spits. He is that man.
You know, it's your boy Mace ready to come back with the hot takes, and they hot.
And of course, we have that gasoline spitter, the man who just comes along, he sees the fire going, he say, I got the extinguisher, but I'm going to throw that out and throw some more gasoline on it, baby. He is that man, Daryl.
I don't know why they gave that girl the title fire starter when I'm the fire starter. Burning up leaves in a trailer. Get out of here.
Oh, no. Oh, no. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we are back again with another hot week in sports. And of course, we have to start with the NBA playoffs that are going on. There has been a lot that has gone on since our last episode of Sports Ball here. We thank you all for coming in with our NFL draft live stream this week. We appreciate you. We know we only did one day, but I'm going to just tell you something. Look, like he said, I'm the oldest in here, and I made an executive decision and said we're not doing fucking 2 days. That first day took a lot out of your boys. So, no, okay? Wasn't happening. If you want to be mad at somebody for not having day 2, blame me, okay? But, of course, we'll still give you our draft analysis, but we have to start with the NBA playoffs and everything that has happened. And I have to ask you, gentlemen, of course, the big elephant in the room, we have to start right here because we was both over here talking trash to Daryl before the playoffs started up, saying there was no chance in hell the Warriors was getting out the first round against the Nuggets. And what did they do? They got the first round. So, Daryl, go ahead, take your lap, player.
Told you so. Told you so. Told you so. Y'all are fools. I don't know why y'all did that. Y'all are stupid. Y'all are stupid. You should just hammer me on the Nets. The Nets was the only thing they should hammer me on, but the Warriors, I already said it. It's probably gonna be Warriors Celtics. I already see it.
Nah, well, look, the only way that's happened is if Middleton doesn't end up coming back, which we will talk about in a moment here. But I have to say, all right, boys, Daryl brought it up. We let him take his lap here. We understand what happened with the Warriors and Jokic and that team. Just look, they got to find. Look, let's make it short and sweet on the Nuggets. They got to find another star player to play with Jokic. You can't depend on Murray or Porter Jr. to be healthy. You need to go get somebody that you know is going to be there. Just don't let it be James Harden because that's not going to be good for your offense. So, but we have to talk about the 300-pound gorilla in the room. How the hell did the Brooklyn Nets get swept? Not a gentleman's sweep. They didn't even get one game. Them boys got swept. They busted out the broom on them fellas. So I have to start with you here, Mace. Is this a changing of a guard that we are seeing with Tatum and Brown beating down on the old veterans now? We can call them old veterans because that's really what they are. And Kyrie and Kevin Durant.
You have to, man. The fact of the matter is all of our favorite players are getting old. Plain and simple. There's nobody's favorite player is under 33. So, hey, it's eventually bound to happen. Eventually, Tatum, Jaylen Browns, the Ja Morants, eventually they're going to run them all out the league. So, I mean, hey, Durant is still excellent. Kyrie, the Nets, they just didn't have it, man. I'm not even going to talk about Kyrie, man.
No, go ahead. No, you got to. Kyrie Irving, what's happening?
How are you going to talk about trying to be a main cog in the team and you let the team down all year? I still want to be a part of the team. You weren't a part of the team all last year because you was scared of a needle. Explain yourself. Maybe we would have did better if I was out on the court. We had a little bit of continuity. Whose fucking fault was that, Kyrie? Whose fucking fault was that?
The Nets ain't no team. You got
Like
Ben
I said
Simmons.
this at the beginning of the year, the Nets look like a collection of hoopers that you see in a pickup game who are pretty good, but then they get beat by the dudes that been playing with each other for a while. That's what the Nets were, just a collection of hoopers. That was not a team. Steve Nash was just out there to he was the caretaker.
I'm gonna say this much. Two things happened for me over the course of this season with the Nets. Number one, Steve Nash got exposed. He is not a good coach. I didn't see no type of adjustments for him. When they come out of timeouts, I don't see good plays for them. So Steve Nash is fully exposed. And then on top of that, look, man, I have loved Kevin Durant for years in the league, but I don't think he can get back to the level that we expect out of him anymore. This playoff showed me that more than anything. Yes, it was really a two-man operation out there for the Nets. Not disputing that. But Kevin Durant has always been a dude that when he got his shot, he made it. He was bricking shots that, like, for years we have watched him make. And it's not always a pretty decline for superstars, right? Sometimes they fall off a cliff. I'm not saying he's off that cliff, but he's leaning right now. He's leaning. The playoffs showed us that KD don't got it no more like that, bro. So I have to say firmly it was a change in the guard. But, Daryl, I have to ask, should the Nets just blow it all up at this point?
You say falling off a cliff. They were over there putting nooses over their necks. That's what they were doing. You got Kyrie basically pushing the whole narrative about how I don't want to put a needle in me for COVID. You had it wasn't a mid-season trade, was it? It was like going to like the near to the playoffs trying to trade. So you got James Harden off
basically trade deadline.
So you get Steph and you get Ben. Ben wasn't going to play. Anybody thought Ben was going to play, it was really silly.
Well, we all knew what it was with Ben, bro. We knew what time it was there.
I'll say this about Ben Simmons, man. If you have any sort of, hey, go get your help. If you feeling like mentally you can't perform, go get your help. Secondly, don't be a bitch, bro. You knew what profession you chose. You knew the scrutiny that came with this profession. Stop it. Get out there and play. Get out there and practice. Learn how to shoot the ball, and stop collecting checks, because it's gonna fall back on all the other players, man. These owners they looking at this Ben Simmons deal like, hey, bro, we got to get our money back some kind of way.
But don't show up at the game either. Don't show up. It's like cheer. Don't even do that either. Like, that was pointless too. don't even show up.
I will say, I don't generally try and question dude's mental fortitude on here, right? Especially the pros. Like, to get to the pros, you got to have some fortitude. But I'm going to tell you something. Ben Simmons is displaying a lot of softness right now. Okay.
I mean, Ben Simmons quit in LSU. He quit on LSU. I mean, that's not even a prop program.
And I was a guy that defended him for how he went about going about protecting his draft stock, right? But at this point, Ben Simmons, you soft, brother. Like, I'm sorry. I don't like calling people to soft like that have gotten to the pros, because you got to go through a lot of shit to get there. But at this point, when I look at somebody like that, my boy, what else is it? What else? Okay, cool. Let's just talk about the things that he said have kept him out this year. Okay, number one, he was talking about the back, right? So you had all season, so you've had plenty of time to heal that up. You should have been ready by now by the playoffs. Okay, I don't give a fuck what you talking about. You done had a whole off season and the whole season to rehab to be back, and I've seen guys come back in less time than that with more severe injuries. Number two, he said it was his mental health. Well, Ben Simmons, I got a question for you, brother. If it's your mental health, are you for one getting the help that you need to, and two, are you putting yourself in a comfortable and a healthy environment for your mental health? I'm gonna have to say, when you're dating a reality star, that's probably not the case. Probably not. So when you like that lifestyle, That's how you get down, right? His actions over the past couple of years have shown me a lot about how Ben Simmons gets down as a person. And I'm gonna say it straight on. That nigga soft to me. He's just soft.
Yeah, bro. He's in it for the money and fame. And if he didn't play another game of basketball, I guarantee you Ben Simmons would not regret a minute of it, because now he's able to afford his lifestyle now. With
Ben Simmons loves money and Ben Simmons. He doesn't love basketball. He don't
like, how do you go out and say, "Oh, I'm gonna be ready for Game 4"? Hours before Game 4. Nah,
bro, you got it.
I ain't there, and it's causing me back issues, man. I just ain't got it. In the elimination game,
you know what really would have won the series for the Nets? If they had a really great perimeter defender. Wonder who that could have been on their roster, Mace. Who could that have been? Could it have been Ben Simmons? That's what he does. So, I mean, at this point, man, that guy, look, when I'm watching guys coming out here trying to do everything they can to play, when I'm watching Giannis last year in the finals come back after we all watched what happened with his knee, come back and give it 110%. For me to look at a dude like Ben Simmons where it doesn't even seem like he cares, I'm just utterly disgusted with him. Like I said, man, I try not to label dudes soft, but he doing some soft ass shit. And when you're doing that much soft ass shit, to me, what does that say you are? You soft then, right?
Gotta be. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, shut up, Darryl. I know why you're laughing. Shut up, because that was wild. It was so perfectly timed.
I'm sorry. I'm just being. You had the best still face of all time, and it just came out soon you talked. It was just like.
Everybody watching us on YouTube, you will see it. By the way, thank you for watching us here on YouTube. We do appreciate your views every week there. But yeah, you'll see why me and Daryl are laughing. Sorry for everybody listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, stuff like that. Sorry, but maybe I'll make that like the screen for this show.
That's the cover. That's the cover.
It's us three sitting here, then Mace with the face. All right. But don't let me lose track of what we're doing. But regardless, the Nets were utter disappointment this year, and they should probably, blow that whole thing up, in my opinion.
I need a refresh. I think that team needs a strong refresh.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to not have it as a focus of like a 2-star team. I need everybody to play their part. We need to go back to basics. Like Nets.
Well, here's the issue though. Here's the issue. You got two guys on that team that are supposed to be stars for you, in Ben Simmons and Kyrie, where, if you want me to be honest, it don't seem like neither of those guys like being coached. Let's talk about it for real, right? Okay, so shit went bad in Philly with Brett Brown when he started trying to hold them dudes accountable, right? So it went bad there. He didn't get along with Doc and Embiid when they was holding them accountable. Okay, so there we got Ben Simmons. We know he don't like being coached. We know he don't like being held accountable. Kyrie, he was saying he wanted to be coached in Cleveland and play on a great team. Then he got LeBron, was being coached and was on a great team, and then said, fuck that, I want to go to Boston where I'm my own man, and there's a great coach there. Brad Stevens tried to coach him up. He said, fuck that, don't like this here. I'm out of here. He's in Brooklyn now, and we know Steve Nash was Mr. Passive Coach of the Year this year. We see what's happened. So you got two dudes on that team who don't like being coached. What the fuck? You can't do nothing but blow that up at this point.
You got two guys that don't like being coached, and then you got KD who won't get in anybody's face and tell them to get the fuck right.
I don't care about their feelings. If they don't want to be coached, they can be coaches themselves. That's how I feel.
Hey, look, bruh, I get what you're saying, but in reality, every great team that wins needs a coach, because you need somebody when that doesn't have the adrenaline pumping so high that can become the, for lack of better terms, the adult in the room, and say, well, this is what we about to do, or know how to calm a team down and tell them how to stay the course. You know what I mean? Sometimes you need that with winning teams. So look, either the Nets got to blow it up player wise, or they better find their ass a real coach, somebody who's going to be willing to call Ben Simmons and Kyrie on their bullshit and coach Kevin Durant, because we know he likes to be coached. That's not even a question. His whole career,
Durant would prefer to be a part of a system and not be the system. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't want to be, not to say that he doesn't have the skill set to do that, but he doesn't want to have to be. No, he's not the system.
He went to Golden State.
He wants to play in the system.
Yeah, that's why he went to Golden State. That's why I never knocked him, because it was like, why wouldn't you go play for the best system for you as a basketball player? Like, why wouldn't you do that? Like, doesn't make any sense that people got like, I get the emotion of, oh, you know, the one of the best teams in the league is getting another great player, but that's the way it always goes in the NBA. So people, get out your fucking feelings, all right? But I have to ask, I believe it was yesterday, the injury news came out. It was either yesterday or Thursday night, I can't remember. The injury news came out. Joel Embiid is out indefinitely with a concussion and an orbital fracture. Daryl, I have to ask, because I know you always like to clown Philly, so I got to ask you right off top. What's going to happen now that they have to depend on James Harden?
Also play dead and gone, because that's what the Sixers are. I already said this already. They not winning nothing. Something's bound to happen. Wait, didn't I recall there was going to be an injury or something? Something's going to just happen out the blue. This is not going to happen. First off, that's their biggest piece. That's their winning piece. You're going to rely on James Harden? That's like me relying on James Harden in the Nets. You think that shit's going to work? No. Come on now. Who else you relying on?
You had 2 weeks of MVP James Harden, bro. You had 2 weeks of that.
Ooh, 2 weeks. Ooh. Oh my goodness.
Hey, bro.
Oh my goodness.
You had 2 weeks where he was not turning the ball over so much, actually like scoring efficiently, maybe getting to the line a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Do I get a Philly cheesesteak with that? Like, come on now. Do I get one? Because I guarantee you, I'll give y'all one. They can actually manage to pull out a win.
James Harden is one bad game away from quitting on the Nets or the Sixers in the playoffs.
Look, let me tell you something. I have no interest in betting on the Sixers without Embiid. James Harden is a big look, if James Harden is your only superstar in the playoffs, that's a red flag, baby. I already know the other team about to win the series. Okay, I know that. That's a fact. So this is gonna be bad. And James Harden ain't got the blow by no more, and the refs ain't calling a lot of his bullshit. So
I love the real injuries start now. I like how the real injuries start right here.
Hey, I think we might end up seeing a sweep. I'm not even gonna front to you. I think this is about to be a them boys right on out the playoffs, because yeah, I don't trust James Harden. Even if he has one good game, who's the other person on the team that's going to have a good game for them? Can y'all tell me? Go ahead.
I don't know, bro. Maybe Tobias Harris, bro. Maybe he's going to.
You shut the hell up. You don't even believe that. You shut the hell up. Talking about Tobias Harris. And I like Tobias Harris, but you shut the hell up. No.
I ain't Street Magic can save this freaking team. Like, come on, man. Sorry, I'm a hater for the Sixers, so it doesn't even make a difference what I say. I'm always going to be biased.
So you just throw my opinions out the windows because it's all hate.
It's all hate. Trash.
Oh, but so Mace, do you think Philly is even going to win a game in this series, or is this, like I said, is this going to be a sweeps right after playoffs?
I could see a situation where Embiid comes back in a game 4, maybe helps him, maybe gets him that one so they can get gentlemen swept. But relying on James Harden, You might as well start playing in your vacation, player.
That's the sweeps.
Relying on James Harden, you might as well play in your vacation, man. I mean, we know what the real basketball fans know that Chris Paul was the reason why the Rockets was balling like they were. So
I have to ask you though, Mace, how do you feel this series is going to end up going for the Bucks, considering that, hey, they don't have Middleton, who is really their best wing defender?
I think they're a good enough defensive team to if it comes down, if the game is close, I can still see them pulling out because they still, between them and the Celtics, they still have the best player in Giannis. So I don't think it'll be as detrimental as the Embiid injury is for the Sixers, but I could see this being a war of attrition where the Celtics maybe pull it out in 6 or 7, simply because they just have more firepower and Giannis just burns out at some point.
I think the Bucks are going to win this in 7, and it's going to be one of those where we watch Giannis in like a game 7, and we turn around and we'll look at his performance from the series, and we're like, yo, this dude just had an all-time series. Like, he went crazy this series. I don't see him actually having a bad game. He's one of the rare guys to where it's almost like his game is bad game proof, because if you think you're just going to keep him on the perimeter, at some point Giannis is going to get by that bucket. He going to find it. Look, if he ain't going to be able to take it from the top of the key, he'll go get it on the block and get to the basket then. So I think it's going to be a challenging series for the Bucks without Middleton, because that's going to allow either Brown or Tatum to end up having a good series or alternating good games. You know what I mean? So one of the two is usually going to probably have a good game.
They'll also be able to rest on defense as well. They can switch them out, those two out, to where they're not having to go all out on offense and defense. So they will be allowed that rest to get an extra juice on the offensive end.
Yeah, I think it should be a very interesting series. But now I have to ask you though, Mace, Golden State, Memphis, who you got?
I actually like this matchup a lot.
And also, Mace, I have to ask, are you sad that your boy Big Cat is out the playoffs now?
I told you that ain't my boy, bro. I told you.
Him and the snitch is your boys, bro.
I told you. I don't fuck with neither one of them. I said when Russell got his NBA uniform on, I fuck with him. But as soon as he step in that locker room and take that jersey off, he a whole different nigga at that point.
Cat and the snitch, that's your boys. Ant is my guy. Cat and the snitch are your guys.
You can't put them on me. You can't put them on me.
Cat and the snitch are yours, bro.
I'll deny. You can't put them boys on me. I told you how I feel about Cat, and he played up to his expectation. He got bullied around by some no names. And he was being guarded by dudes like 4 or 5 inches short. He was being guarded by guards. This is plain and simple. He was being guarded by perimeter players.
Well, let's call it what it is, right? In a game that they needed, he went 6 of 19, 0-3 from downtown, and had 18 and 10. Didn't sound like he was guarded
by perimeter players. That's plain and simple. That's all you need to know about Cat. He was being guarded by perimeter players. As a 6'11", 7-footer, you're being guarded by perimeter players. That should tell you everything you need to know about how soft you are.
And Mace's other guy went 3 of 7.
Hey, man.
My guy was 10 of 24 for 30. You know what I'm saying? Yo dude went 3. Yo dudes went a combined, what is this? 9 of 27 from the field, or 26 from the field. Good job, Mace. Your guys lost the game.
I don't know who these guys are you speak of. Who are these
Cat
guys?
And the snitch. Cat and the snitch.
You can't put Cat on me. Give Cat to Daryl, bro. You can't put Cat on me. Listen. If I have to take D'Lo's bad games, cool. But you can't put Cat on me. I'm telling you right now.
Daryl's man's is Rudy Gobert, so we ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? That's Daryl's man.
Well, Cat just gonna be floating around. He ain't nobody.
No, that's your man's. Him and the snitch.
You can't put Cat.
Him and the snitch is your man's.
Listen,
bro.
my back ain't big enough to carry that burden. You can't put Cat on me.
Your back is as big as Ben Simmons.
Oh,
well, I got the same back issues as Ben Simmons, bro. You can't put Cat on me. That's too big of a burden.
But his ain't caused by basketball.
but seriously though, the series for Memphis and Golden State, man, I like it a lot. I think their strengths match up with each other. They're both very perimeter heavy teams, and it's going to be exciting. I expect Ja Morant to dunk on somebody. Hopefully, it's can't even think right now.
Draymond.
I hope so. I hope he's sending Draymond to the shadow.
You still running the train against Warriors as a correct, right?
No. I just hope Ja dunk on Draymond, bro. Honestly, I can't call it right now, dog. I really can't. Like, I really like this series. I think the teams match up well together. Like I said, Memphis's strength is their perimeter, and so is Golden State. So
we're all gonna agree that the Heat are going to just instantly win against the Sixers. That's what.
Yeah. Easy dub.
Bruh. Why are we even talking? I already told you that's a sweeps. They might get gentlemen swept. Like May said, Embiid might come back and win them one, but they're getting swept.
Even
I'll tell you the truth.
Michael Bisping.
Even if Embiid was healthy, I'm probably still picking the Heat. James Harden is his. Look, we know Embiid's gonna get his. But he has to depend on – last year he had to depend on fucking Ben Simmons. Now he got to depend on James Harden. It hasn't gotten better. Look, Ben Simmons didn't want to shoot, and this nigga shoot too much. You can't win. It's over. Don't need to even talk about it. That's why we moved right on and got to the series that actually matters in Memphis and Golden State, because that should be a damn entertaining series.
Oh, yeah. I hope that series goes 7 just because I want to see the basketball the whole time.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is Steph Curry about to be dog tired. You know what Memphis about to do? They're about to run this shit at them the same way that Cleveland did in the finals, which was we gonna make Steph Curry guard everybody. we gonna make Steph be the man to guard. Y'all gonna have to help off of Steph, and let's see how that goes. Honestly, it's the only way you really beat the Warriors. You got to go at Steph. You got to make him play defense, make them help off of him, because if you allow Steph to just sit there and hide, he'll try and hop in passing lanes. So no, don't let him hide. Wear his ass out, run him through screens all game long, just like he about to be running your damn defenders through screens all game. Wear him out. Try and take advantage of the fact that he is, when they have their best 5 on the floor, he's probably the worst defender of the 5. Take advantage of that. So I think Ja Morant should go crazy, and what's his name with the whack ass hairdo?
Isn't that Brooks?
Yeah, Dylan Brooks. Oh, Dylan Brooks and his whack ass hairdo probably gonna end up going off again in this series. So the thing that I think separates it for me and that makes me pick Memphis in this situation, I do not believe in Klay Thompson right now. I do not.
Yeah.
I don't. They gonna look, them two fellas that have been there for this whole run and go in Golden State with Klay and Steph. They're gonna be putting them boys through the ringer in this series. They're gonna force them to play a lot of defense, and I don't know how that goes at this point, considering Klay hasn't looked near the level of at least being a quality defender that he was previous to the injuries. His defense
maybe
has
if
been
he
lacking.
wore some knee braces, you know what I'm saying, to stop raw dogging his knees out there. To this day, I don't understand. Like, I don't back-to-back ACL tears, and you just out there, no knee brace, no knee support, no nothing, just raw dogging your knees out there, bro.
Because he's wild. The Terminator.
Yeah, he's something, bro. Because Excuse me. That's wild.
And I have to correct you because I thought you was just losing your mind because you talked about this the last time we was on. It was an ACL and an Achilles, my boy.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yes,
that's right. That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
Achilles
well,
was the
maybe-
one that we were like, what the hell? Is this nigga ever gonna come back and be the same?
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe, but still though, 2 lower leg injuries.
You don't need no legs for no shooting no ball. I see his
You
face.
can go to hell. You can go right to hell. I hope you.
But yeah, man. I really just think this is just gonna be a good series, dog. I can't call it, man, because
No, you got to make a pick. No, there's no. I can't call it. No, make a damn pick.
I'm gonna go with Memphis because they're young. They got the jumps.
Memphis and how many?
6.
Wow.
Daryl, who you got?
You sure already know the answer. I ain't gonna say it. Nope.
How many games?
4.
You need to say it for the record here. Who you picking it for? Because we're not gonna have you go back and be like, see, I said it was gonna be in 4. I just, I was picking the team that won. No.
Yeah,
what team are you picking?
I say 5.
Okay. Who's winning in 5, Daryl? Hello. Hello. Come on. You got to make your pick. You don't get to just sit here and be like, and be the fence rider. No. Make your pick.
Got Warriors.
There it is. All right. I've got Memphis in 7. I think Memphis is winning this in 7. I think Golden State being in an unusual situation in this case, where they're going to be in a road game 7, I think it's going to finally cost them.
Like I said before, man, everybody's favorite player is over the age of 33 at this point, man. At some point, those young dudes are going to start running teams out the league.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, of course, Daryl had to say some old wild shit, right? He had to be like, oh, yeah, Golden State in 5, just being mad disrespectful. Just like some of the shit you see on Twitter, which is today's Daryl's top 5, which is wild shit you see on Twitter. Daryl, bring us in. Give us your top 5.
I'm going to switch it. I'm going to do it again. It's not a top 5 no more. Because after this rant, I am tired of hearing MMA fighters saying they can beat boxers. I am over it. Usman and Canelo. The best nonchalant BS tweeting I ever seen in my life. If you're going to call out somebody, call them out. That's all I'm going to say. Don't just have someone set up the argument, then someone dismisses you, then you try to dismiss them thinking you're the better man when you're the one begging for the fight. That doesn't make no sense. Usman has no knees. I'm going to say that right now. I'm going to say it on the record. Usman has no knees to be boxing. No Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is not worrying about no darn silly so-called claim pound for pound MMA fighter. There's no legacy to it. There's no nothing if Canelo beats him. All we care about Canelo doing is getting like a 3rd rematch with Triple G and beating up on a bunch of other people that think they can beat him.
Why he need another rematch with Triple G?
Because we all know we want to watch that fight. People will watch that fight. You telling me no one's gonna watch the 3rd fight of Triple G than Usman?
Oh, it's Triple G and look, if you gave either Canelo and Usman or Triple G and Usman, that fight would sell way more than a Triple G and Canelo 3 all day.
I don't think so because Usman's not into that point now that like he can go like, oh, he's not McGregor. Let's get this straight. He's not McGregor. Idiots will pay for like a Canelo versus McGregor though, 100%, because you got you got Ireland, and you got freaking you got both
Listen, bro,
going
I'm
at
tell you
it.
something right now.
You
If
do know Nigeria is bigger than Ireland, right?
I'm gonna tell
And
you something right now. If McGregor had a so-called super fight with Canelo and he started talking that shit, Canelo probably knows some dudes that don't give a damn about going to jail. That's all I'm saying. You start talking that shit,
do,
Canelo will send somebody after your ass.
do some mob work, but like just from the tweets alone, it was just stupid. I didn't understand why the fact that Usman thinks that it is okay to just try to keep on bigging up this fight, knowing that he's under contract with Dana White. And Dana White ain't doing none of this stuff with boxing. It's the same thing with Francis thinking he could beat Tyson Fury. And then trying to say, hey, we can have a match with each other and have 4-ounce gloves. That's stupid. You think Tyson Fury will automatically just say, hey, we can have this fight and everything. 4-ounce gloves, no problem. I agree, everything. Knowing that Francis is not the most accurate puncher, let alone he's not. That man can box. He doesn't even have the stamina for 25 minutes. You think he can do 45? Do y'all?
No, not one bit. It's
Like,
ridiculous.
like, come on now. Like, and then you're gonna take some of that pillow off the hands. Nah. Y'all seen Tyson Fury and White when he gave that man that uppercut? That man was like, do. Can't get up. No.
Look, my
No.
distaste for Tyson Fury is not who he is as a boxer in the ring. In the ring, he's been one of my favorite fighters to watch in the modern era. He's one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. It's his outside the ring stuff that I don't like about him. But if we're just talking about in the ring, I think he knocked Ngannou out in under 3.
People need to stop playing like boxing and MMA are comparable sports, man. It's a whole different ball game. One, when you have to worry about getting kicked, and two, when all you can do is punch somebody, you have to be 1,000% more accurate than an MMA fighter. Like,
What he said on Twitter with the ending response to Canelo was enough said. You don't want that smoke in a real fight. I hear you. Good luck, champ. What's a real fight?
I think he considers that MMA.
yeah, I could see that. Of course, MMA fighters are going to say a real fight is where you can use all of your tools, which includes kicking or wrestling or slamming somebody, submitting them, blah blah blah. But we really got to stop acting like MMA fighters are true boxers. I mean, is there any MMA fighter who you feel like could box and be successful? Maybe an Anderson Silva 12, 15 years ago?
Max Holloway.
Yeah, Max Holloway against somebody like Jake Paul size. But
Max Holloway, Calvin Kattar, probably. Like I can see those.
I think Max is about the only one because Max has the head movement and the hands. Most of these dudes don't actually have boxing head movement and footwork. Max has that's literally his fight style, his boxing head movement and fight stance. So I think that's the only one.
Well, we can't throw out Holly.
Holly's a kickboxer. She ain't no boxer. You throw her in there with just boxing. Like if you threw Holly home in there with someone like Layla Ali in their prime, she get manhandled. She's a kickboxer. Holly's danger was always in her kicks. It was never in her punches. Who you seen her knock out with her punches? Exactly.
I'm trying to think. I was really trying to think.
Because her highlights are her kicks. And I'm not knocking her for that. Because, like, if you're talking kickboxing, she's one of the greatest of all time. But if we're just talking boxing, she would get her ass whooped by a real female boxer.
I'm tired of people trying to chase for a payday like they don't get paid. And don't get me started.
Okay.
Come on,
All right.
don't do it.
Time
don't
out.
Do
Here's
it.
where we're gonna stop.
Don't do
Here's where I have to
do
stop you on your fucking rant because now you're talking bullshit. We've addressed this on this show. How many times with you, Daryl? These niggas are not getting paid what their value is. You are going to stop being a Dana White patsy on this show. That is not what we are doing. Okay.
I'm talking about champions.
You think they're getting paid what they supposed to? You fucking crazy. Come on, fam. Fam, if the UFC sold for a couple of billions of dollars, do you really think they are paying these fighters right?
Who are the champions that are complaining? Who are the champions that complain?
The draws that they have as champions.
No. Who are the champions are complaining about pay?
Nagano, Usman. We could go with former champions like Diaz.
No. I said champions.
Both Diaz brothers have complained about it. The only fucking fighter who really hasn't complained about it in modern history that really has been getting big fights is Conor McGregor because he's the motherfucker that's gotten paid.
No. I said champions. And if you bring up the Diaz brothers,
so
if you bring up the Diaz brothers, when's the last time Nick won a fight?
So do you want me to list off all the champions to you that feel like they're not getting paid? Getting paid enough? That's what you want?
Yeah, okay, you only name two. You only name two.
I got you. Don't worry about it.
I don't hear Valentina's talking nothing.
I got you.
I don't hear Israel talking nothing.
I got you. Word. Okay. So
Israel got the best freaking contract between all of them. How about that?
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Of all the champions right now, how many of them are draws?
Valentina's a draw.
Oh, word. So she'll draw no matter who she's on the card with, she's gonna draw, right? That's what you're saying?
Israel's a draw.
So okay, one. Come on. You. Amanda. Word. Oh, so she. That's two. Okay, I'll give you that. She's a draw. That's two.
Can we say newly champions, or we just have to have champions
that are champions that are a draw?
Champions
that put butts in the seats, that make people order that pay-per-view, that make bars put it on in their bar. Go ahead, name the other two because you don't want to name them because they're the two guys that you're sitting here talking shit about. Go. No, he's not. Stop that. Name me one time. Name me anybody in the popular lexicon that knows who the fuck Figueroa is. Fight fans know who he is, but don't nobody else. So again, Daryl, them two other guys.
You want international?
Wait. Them two other guys that draw are Usman and who?
No. Usman needs another title fight on there that we can have a draw. What are you talking about?
All his fights have sold well, bro. He's a draw.
They sold well because of Kobe. I did.
Oh, this nigga, bro. I think it's time to move on now. We should.
No. Let's put this fact out. Let's put this fact out there. Nigga. So you're telling me right now that the Gilbert Burns and Usman fight was a draw?
Gilbert Burns and Usman fight.
Yeah, was that a draw?
Every fight you have does.
No.
Draw, hold on. Every fight you have is not going to necessarily sell super big. When Gilbert Burns is as fucking boring as the white bread in the kitchen. Okay,
that's horrible.
Am I lying? Am I lying? Answer me that, Derek. You say it's horrible, but am I lying?
No. It seems like it's a lie because we just seen what Chimaev and freaking Burns did already. That was like the best fight of the card. But you tell me
what that have to do with his what that have to do with his personality and to sell a fight to you though. He's as boring as the white bread in my kitchen. Boy.
But what did you say about selling fights? What did you say about
you put butts in seats? So tell me, okay. So tell me, which Usman fight exactly did they not have butts in the seats and did not have pretty good numbers for their pay-per-view sales? Please tell me, which one was it? I'll wait for it.
Burns and freaking Usman.
And okay, so let's talk about it. In a fight you usually have to promote. We know Usman has the ability to promote, and he has some personality. We've already
But he
seen
did
that with Kobe. Wait, we see that. But in a fight, it takes 2 to promote, correct? And who did he fight? Gilbert Burns, who's again, let me say it for you one more time.
It really takes one.
No, it doesn't. Bullshit. Name me one fight recently that has sold with one person promoting it.
One person?
You can't, because what you're saying is bull. It's bull.
Like, would you be hyped about a McGregor fight if his opponent didn't talk shit back to him?
You wouldn't even care. You'd be like, oh, this is no fun. It's just Conor McGregor just talking shit all the time.
That was the Cowboy and McGregor.
No, because he wasn't even talking greasy about Cowboy. That was the one dude in his recent fights that he didn't actually talk greasy about.
Yeah, there was no trash talking there. Who was promoting it?
And what was the reason that fight sold? It was because that was Conor McGregor's big comeback. It wasn't that motherfuckers were so excited. It's just that was his big comeback.
So you're saying promotion is iffy?
I'm saying promotion takes 2 people, dog. What I'm saying is you trying to put it on one person is bull.
I'm just trying to say with pay, and this is all it is the big payday for him going to try to do Canelo. It's only about payday. You don't have all these champions talking greasy. If all the champions were talking greasy about fire pay, wouldn't fire pay be up by now?
So let me ask you this. What other fighters in the UFC currently have the ability to go do a super fight with somebody? Name me, better yet, name me the fighters in the UFC that have the ability to go do a super fight with a boxer that's going to sell. Go ahead.
McGregor.
1.
Jorge.
2.
Nobody else.
Oh, you're lying. You're a liar right now.
No.
Usman,
I'm saying no. I'm saying no. You know why I named it? You know why I named those 2. I think you know why I named those 2.
It's
because first they're not champions. No, they're not champions. They're not champions. Let's get this straight. They have the power of their money that they can actually just say, hey, F the UFC, I retire from freaking MMA and then go right straight to boxing. They can do that. They can literally do that. But you're not going to see no Usman say, oh, well, you got to talk to Dana White first and get it approved and everything else. He says that multiple times in freaking interviews. Usman's not getting that fight. And anybody that looks at that is going to be saying, okay, Kamaru Usman is not a boxer. You know what he is. He's not a boxer. Francis, he's not a boxer.
Wait. Why are they going to say that in a negative when I didn't hear you say that shit one time about Conor McGregor when he was going to box Floyd? Not once. Not once were you talking about how he wasn't a boxer, though. But you were still down to see that fight.
Whoa. I never said Conor was a boxer. Who said that?
Well, no. My point is you never criticized him for not being one, though, for the fight. It's all good for McGregor, right? It's all good for McGregor, but other motherfuckers try and get their money, and you like, nah.
Okay, so
McGregor was under contract when he fought Floyd too. Does that not matter? Does that not matter?
Yeah, but he had the permission.
Okay, so why the fuck can't the UFC make the deal too? No, first off, you go look at the timeline. He made the deal with fucking Floyd first, and then the UFC had to make it work. So don't give me that. Don't give me that bull.
So anybody that knocks out people standing up in MMA have the right to go to boxing and say, hey, I want to fight a boxer.
My point to you is, if you have the ability to have a super fight, why the fuck is the UFC standing in your way?
It's not the ability. It looks like when Canelo was talking. When Canelo was talking, he doesn't have no interest. It's the difference if a person had the interest. That's like having Jake Paul trying to call you out and you have no interest.
Oh, word? Because I remember Floyd Mayweather for years talking about he never had interest in fighting an MMA fighter, and then all of a sudden the paycheck looked right. So what are we talking about, bro?
But Floyd moves in a different way, though.
Okay.
You know he does. Who's out here living like Floyd with contracts?
What I'm seeing is you have different standards for different people, is what I'm seeing.
No, there's different levels to it. It's different. It's levels. You're telling me right now Floyd has to answer to somebody and say, hey, can I get this contract with this fighter? No.
So only people who have been able to get the ability to have an independent contract should be able to have super fights, is what you're saying.
Yes. Yes.
You're fucking ridiculous.
Yes.
You're ridiculous. Yeah, I'm moving on. I'm just gonna move on because when that's what the whole crux of your fucking argument is, it's like you're so full of shit. I'm done with that. I'm just done with that. But we're gonna move forward here and get to the NFL draft. So I have to ask here, Mace. We've been sitting here and kind of enjoying the draft, in a party, on our Xbox party. We've been talking to each other as it's been going. So I know already where you stand on this. But Mace, how about them Cowboys?
Since this is my trusted Delta control for my lights, here's what I'm about to do here.
Oh, no.
Let me tell you something. This entire offseason has been like jail. I feel like I'm in jail as a Cowboy fan, man. I mean, what the fuck are we doing? You free up all this money just to keep it? I'm in jail. I am in literal off-season jail right now because of Dallas. I get this unless they pull some shit out their ass with the post-draft free agency, because a lot of teams they don't like to dip into that rookie reserve once they get about 2-3 weeks out of the NFL draft. So, but to right now, them boys get a F+. And yeah, I'm gonna tell you what the plus is from. The plus is from solely from restructuring DeMarcus Lawrence's contract. That's the only plus that we have had this offseason.
Really feel, Mace.
It's just complete. Listen, Hollywood got traded for a first-round pick, and Dallas got a 5th and a 6th-round pick swap from Cleveland for Amari Cooper.
Oh, okay. So here's where I got to give you some pushback on that. Let's talk contracts. Number one,
I don't give a damn about a contract.
Wait. Hold on. I just hear me out. Okay, number one, Hollywood was still on his rookie deal. Okay, that's controllable. They drafted him in the first round, so they can use a 5th-year option on him. Okay, so that's one. Number two, younger, so he still has potential upside. Amari Cooper had a bad year last year. Arguably, you're starting to see the decline. You're gonna get less for him. So even you, Madden player Mace, you should get more for Hollywood than Amari Cooper at this point.
I don't give a damn. A 5th and a 6th. That's the best y'all could fucking do.
Blame his contract, bro.
Nobody respects Dallas's front office. Dallas don't even respect their front office. And for the people listening right now or watching, if y'all got a glimpse of Dallas's war room, it looked like a bunch of people who were scared to say shit. And then they had the little Jones in there, just fucking in there, just taking up a seat to somebody who actually had a real football take. And then you got Mike McCarthy over there looking like, I just hope I got a job next year. I hate it here. It's terrible. I'm in jail. Help me. Somebody help me. Mark Cuban, come by Dallas. Help me. I need some help. It's bad here. I need some milk. I hate it here. Terrible. Oh. And then, as I've been saying to these naysayers, that Dalton Schultz could be replaced by a tight end in the 4th round. Guess who the hell they drafted in the 4th round? A goddamn tight end. Now, I'm not Nostradamus, nothing like that. I didn't graduate no fancy school, none of that. But sometimes you just know.
Nostradamus, it's Nostradamus, nigga.
Like I said, I'm not one of them. But I just knew Dallas could get a tight end in the 4th round. I hate it here. I'm in jail. I hate it here. It's not fun. Watching
now
all
that
these
we've
other
been-
teams, watching all these other teams have successful off seasons and drafts, and then here come Dallas. Here come Jerry with his draft board. My man legitimately showed off
He's
his
so
draft
mad, Daryl.
board the day after they drafted Tyler Smith, just to make him seem like he was smart. He was like, "We really did. We really fucking did." So the entire NFL know who you drafted now. Cool.
Well, now that he's gotten his cowboy anger out, I have to ask you, Mace, who do you think has had a great draft? And the draft is actually currently still going on, I believe, the last 3 rounds or whatever are going on now. But Mace, so who do you got having the best draft so far?
So
and why?
My top 3 here. I got the New York Giants. I have Baltimore, and I have Kansas City.
And why for each team?
I think, man, the Giants really set themselves up to have long-term success. I mean, you have a they hopefully they drafted a cornerstone tackle in Evan Neal, and I've been high on Thibodeau from the beginning, man. I told you, for me personally, Thibodeau is a inside counter move away from being a Hall of Famer. I'm sorry, he's just that good to me.
All right. What about the Ravens there? What did you like about their draft?
They just make good picks. Baltimore just knows how to fucking draft, and I hate it. Kyle Hamilton, people, to give y'all an idea, like sometimes, okay, dude, like the physical aspect of football, okay, maybe you can sit here and say Kyle Hamilton is slow, but when you're smart, when you're a football savant, if you will, when you know how to study film, when you don't do anything bad, like you can't tell me anything Kyle Hamilton does bad. You can't tell me anything. I mean, and then the smartest thing they did was move back and get the guy that they knew that they could get. I mean, they got back into the first round and then moved back to get more picks because they knew that they could go grab a center, which was probably their biggest need, was the interior lineman. And they just make smart moves. They picked up pass rushers in the second and third rounds, I believe. People were thinking, oh, with the Hollywood, they got to go receiver. I really don't think so, man. We know what that team is. We know how that team's made up. It's defense and running. And when you have the X factor in Lamar Jackson, you can live off of that. People, you ain't got to throw it 30 some times to be successful. Damn that, they got a good defense that's going to get them the ball back.
I think that's the thing that for their offseason has been the most important, that they have improved that defense to not have to put the offense in such a position to feel like they have to go out and get a touchdown every drive, to where some drives they can be okay with getting 3. Last year, because of how depleted especially the secondary was, it felt like they were always having to just go out and score drive after drive after drive. I think that is going to be a big change. Now, your last team, why is it that you feel that they had a great draft too?
The Chiefs, man, I mean, really, they addressed everything they needed to address. Like I'm out the who was it? The Trent McDuffie. He's a very gritty cornerback, man. I really like the George Karlaftis. I hope I didn't butcher his last name. I think that's how you say it.
Hey, better you than me.
Yeah. The George Karlaftis, I really think that's the big one right there, man, because they really, outside of Chris Jones, they really didn't generate a pass rush whatsoever. I tend to lean towards the fact that I think Mahomes is going to make it work with whoever he has out there at receiver. I don't think the I'm not gonna say losing a Tyreek Hill isn't a big deal because you can't teach Tyreek Hill speed. Like there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, Mecole's fast, but he ain't Tyreek fast. I'm sorry to tell you. But I like even the picking up of Sky Moore. I mean, I personally am not a big fan of the smaller receivers, but Sky Moore was the only offensive talent on Wyoming, and I mean, it did not seem to hurt his production at all. I mean, the kid had 170 catches last year in college. That right there alone should tell you that one, he knows how to get open, and two, he's got some good hands. I mean, simple as that. I mean, you put him in an offense where Mahomes can make every throw, where teams have to address Travis Kelce with a cornerback or a safety or cornerback. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to put a very good coverage guy on him. So yeah, man, I think Kansas City they've addressed what they needed to address. They didn't reach for any picks. I felt like they stayed within themselves, and and the best players available fell to them. Like I said, the George Karlaftis one, I think that's probably going to be their biggest rookie acquisition this year. I really feel like he's going to keep quarterbacks from being able to slide left and right to get away from Chris Jones. So yeah, man, those would be my three winners for the draft.
I just gotta say, my boy, you must have been sleepy last night when Sky Moore got drafted because he did not have no 100 and something catches last year. I don't know where the hell you seen that from.
Probably was.
You must have been a little bit sleepy there. We'll just account that one to the sleepiness. I was like, man, nigga, 170 something catch. Like, nigga, what? Did they throw him every down? Like,
maybe so. Maybe it was a career stat. You know, who knows, man.
He don't even got 100 catches for his career at Wyoming. So
whatever, bro. He's still a baller.
Oh, but yeah,
I maybe embellish his stats a little bit, but he's gonna be a baller.
A little bit, yeah. I have the same three teams as winners for the same reasons. I can't really give you much variance on that, but I will say I can give you some losers, and I have to start number one overall with Jacksonville. Okay, and I'm sorry, wait, I do have one other winner for you. The Lions had a great fucking draft. The Lions got some playmakers. They're going to be a better team next year. They'll probably still be picking in the top 10, but they'll probably be at the back half of the top 10 instead of being at the front like they have been for quite a few years here. But my biggest loser, I have to give it to Jacksonville. And the reason why is because I feel like they got that number one pick so damn wrong. I think they drafted a dude who is not going to produce at number one overall pick level like they expect. I think they fell in love again with a dude running around in shorts and a t-shirt instead of remembering what he did behind those pads. And I'm sorry, you pass up Thibodeau and Hutchinson, who I both think were surefire for you, is foolish. And I cannot say that you had a good draft when I feel like you absolutely 100% blew the number one overall pick in the draft. I can't do that. Beyond that, another loser, I would have to say Minnesota. Minnesota, you had a chance to go and get with your decision to continue riding with Kirk Cousins. You had a chance to go get a young quarterback in this draft and have him sit at least for a season behind Kirk Cousins to try and then get your future in order. Instead, you didn't do that. You didn't draft Malik Willis. You didn't draft Kenny Pickett. You went defense, which is understandable because your defense was bad, but you should have been trying to secure your quarterback future, considering the best quarterback on your roster right now is Kirk Cousins. Because of that, I have to say they're a big loser in this too. Beyond that, for me, I'd have to say there's one other team that I felt like I'm not going to call them a loser, but I felt like they had a moment in the first round. And the Jets, they were good, and then all of a sudden they lost their minds. with their second picks in the first round, and it just didn't look so good. So that second pick, a little questionable, but I think the Jets are headed in the right
I think
direction.
you're talking about the third because the second one was Garrett Wilson.
Was it? Oh yeah, okay. So it was
the third pick.
Yes,
it was the third pick
yeah,
where they got back into the 20s and got Jermaine Johnson.
Okay, yeah. See, I'm sorry. I thought Wilson was their third pick. That's my fault. Yeah, okay, but yes. So yeah, that was bad. So Mace, who do you got as your losers in the draft so far?
Well, we already know who number one is, so we'll go to number two.
Yo, he's so hard on his team, bro.
Honestly, man, it's kind of. I really think everybody drafted well, but my team, bro. Like,
see, you're being too myopic, bro. Come on, calm down. I understand you're frustrated with the Cowboys draft, but come on, you're being way too myopic right now.
I probably will have to say Minnesota were losers in the draft. I mean, like you said, they had a chance to have a future at quarterback. But maybe they see something in Kellen Mond that we don't. Maybe they just have too much money in Kirk Cousins to where they can't justify putting more first round money into a quarterback. But even
you
then,
gotten him in the second round.
They could have got him in the fourth. Okay, but so yeah, I'll have to say Minnesota because Justin Jefferson is out there keeping Kirk Cousins' career alive. Saying plain and simple. And
legend at the bank, Kirk Cousins.
I'd probably say, man, another loser. Maybe New England, but they never draft well. So I mean, picking New England's just kind of like, You know what? Green Bay, because they had 2 first-round picks to try to finagle and get up and actually get a playmaker at receiver, an impact player at receiver, and they did not. So I will have to say that they are a loser for in the first round drafting an inside linebacker. And let me see who else that they got. And a defensive tackle.
So you don't believe in Christian?
No, I do. I like him. But at the same time, they had 22 and 28 to try to finagle and move up into that top 15 and go get one of the premier pass catchers in this draft. They could have, let's see who went. Let's see, Chris Olave went 11. You still had Treylon Burks at 18 there. You had Johan Dotson there at 16. So I mean, they could have gotten a impact pass catcher in the first round if they would have finagled those, if they would have moved those picks around. But yet they decided to get an inside linebacker and a defensive tackle after trading away the best receiver in football. After you go through a whole offseason of your quarterback pretty much bending you over and getting whatever he wanted, and you just trying to take a little bit back from him. You said, I guess they wanted to do the bending over this time and say, you know what, bro, we're not gonna get you a receiver in the first round. Psych.
I appreciated the fact that they didn't do that, and now I have to root against Christian Wilkinson for his whole career because he plays for the Packers. So I hope he busts. That'd be great. That'd be great for the Packers to not have a primetime wide receiver for once in my fucking life. Because it went from Antonio Freeman to Donald Driver to Greg Jennings to then Devontae Adams.
It would be nice. Don't forget about Jordy Nelson in there, bro.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Jordy. That's who was in between Greg and Devontae.
Greg fucking Jennings.
Yeah. So it'd be nice for once in my life for them not to have a receiver that just balls out of control. So I hope that happens. But me as a Bears fan, I am, I guess, happy with the draft. I'm not angry at it, but I also have concerns and questions still about how we're going to protect our quarterback. I think going in the secondary with the first 2 picks was a reasonable thing to do. We needed help both at corner and at safety, as I discussed with you at length during the draft there, Mace, which is, hey, the Bears need help all over the place. We got one corner, one safety going into the draft, so we needed that help. But we'll see how those end up faring out for the Bears. I do wish they would have went and got what's his name? Goodness gracious, the linebacker from Georgia that kept falling. How did I just Nakobe Dean. But I also understand where teams shied away from him because during the draft it was put out there that he decided to wait on getting the surgery that he needed and go about the just rehab it and try and let it heal up route, which can't say that was a smart decision because most teams would have probably still drafted you higher if you just went and got the damn surgery. So I do wish they could have gotten him, but I do understand the picks that they made and how they're trying to get forward. I'm curious to see what this receiver out of Tennessee can do. I don't know how good he is, you know what I mean? Because both offenses that he played in were kind of lackluster. He played at USC and even then he played at Tennessee. Neither of them during the course of his career had a great quarterback or a great offense. So I don't know what he is. I know he's got pull-away speed, though. I know that much. So hopefully that will work out well for the Bears. But I can't say that I'm over here angry like Mace was at the draft that my team has done. Because, hey, we got a lot of holes to fill. And, he seems to start to do that job. But we'll see how it ends up shaking out. But while we're here and talking about things that make you angry, ladies and gentlemen, this is your weekly trip into the mind of a madman. This is Mace's Madness.
You know how we got to start this thing.
Damn, the lights went back red for all y'all just listening to us. The lights is red again.
There is no fucking reason that the NFL draft is so long. There is no reason to just be running random people out there to get. Listen, you don't have to announce to the world that 2 fans won season tickets. Who cares? You ain't got to go out there and shaking our military members' hands for no reason. What was the purpose for being out there? What purpose towards a football entertaining entity does bringing them out there just to shake their hand do? Nothing. Bringing up
Preach, Brother Mace. Preach.
Bringing up random people listen, if you want to have a Hall of Famer or a player that was a one-team player come out and make you pick, cool, do that. But just come up there and get out. Read the card, get out. It should not take 3 hours to get through one round in the draft. Shouldn't do it. The draft should not be 3 days long. For what? Why? Why is it 3 days long? You know what you can do in 3 days? You can probably drive across the United States in 3 days. I don't know, but you could probably do it. But yeah, we got to have a draft for 3 days? That don't make no damn sense. You ain't got to bring out and then when they come out there, they ain't got to have this whole monologue about some stupid team chant. Just make the fucking pick and get out. That's it. That is it. That's all. Make the pick and get out. We ain't got time for this. Why is it 3 hours? Why? For one round. Why is it 3 hours for one round? I hate it. Just shorten that shit up. Roger, shorten that shit up. Roger, we ain't got time. Next year, lickety split. You hear me? Lickety split. Get this shit done. 3 fucking hours?
Turn on. There, you got to turn on. We couldn't hear you.
No, I was thinking.
Oh.
It was probably the most stupendous NFL draft of all time.
Shut the fuck up. You shut the hell up.
You hear me, Roger? I need the next year's draft done lickety split.
I agree with him, ladies and gentlemen. The draft is too fucking long at this point. The shit's crazy. It's
Like
out of control.
how much is it for every day? So it was like 3 hours. Like I
Yeah,
wasn't.
It's like 3 hours each day. It's fucking stupid.
That sounds bad.
9 hours of draft. Yes.
And usually when you turn that thing on, there's a bunch of people in the circle who talk, and then you just look on the other screen. It's like, oh, the guy's coming out.
Listen, across the screen, it will be like a team's pick is in, and then they bring out like 5 guests. They have like 10 commercials, and then Roger Goodell brings some another special guest out there to make the pick. Then he's got to make an announcement about who the person is, and then they make the fucking pick.
Yeah,
beer commercials that they throw out there. You got to be drunk to watch that.
You
got to be drunk.
It's like the pick be in longer than the team be deliberating on who to fucking pick.
I swear it was shorter.
Every team has like 10 minutes for each pick. They got 10 minutes. And some teams actually had their picks ready. They was like, shit, our dude is there. Let's go make this fucking pick. When the Lions picked Aiden Hutchinson, bro, it was almost immediate after they got the entire. Bro, get our shit in. Like, we got shit to do. Let's go.
The Jags pick was still up there taking pictures with Fidel Goodell when we turned around and then saw that the Lions pick was already in. So, yeah,
that's horrible.
Yeah, oh, bro, it's such a team.
They got teams have 10 minutes. Okay, cool. You're hearing calls about people drafting, or maybe you having a real deliberation about who to pick. Who knows? You got 10 minutes, and then after those 10 minutes is up, you get an extra like 35 minutes of wait time to call your pick. What kind of shit is that?
The draft was scheduled, round 1 was scheduled to be 3 hours. They did not finish it for like 3 hours and 40 minutes. So it was fucking rough. I was cashed by the end of our stream, plain out and simple. So yes, I agree with Mace. You guys need to shorten this draft up.
What about the NBA draft? How long is that?
That shit go by quick as hell. That's 2 rounds. That shit is quick. And the NBA ain't got time for all that bullshit. They making these picks and keeping it moving.
Shit. Pro Bowl or freaking NFL draft.
Get this shit done.
Facts. That, ladies and gentlemen, was again another trip into the mind of a madman. That was Mace's madness. But, ladies and gentlemen, that was your show for this week. So, Mace, make sure you tell the people where to find you.
You already know, man. Hit me up on Twitter at funky_Steph09. Instagram, Nindame Summer. I'm not going to tell you how to spell it because I probably can't. It's just cool as hell. And Twitch, find me at twitch.tv/swaggymace with 2 G's. It's spelled just like it sounds. Hit me up.
And Mr. Low Elo Janitor himself. Tell the people where to find you.
Low Elo Janitor, Twitch, Facebook, Alvarez Effect, Twitter, and Instagram.
And of course, you already know where to find me everywhere at JSpan, the man, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything, basically, Twitch. You'll see my pretty face, or you will see the ITC logo. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, we have to thank you again for coming through and sitting through another episode of your favorite weekly sports show. It is ITC Sportsball.
Nope. Nope. Y'all hated on me today, both of y'all. Nope. Y'all. Nope. Not feel. Nope. Nope.